So that means the top of the table looks like this. Bayern and Arsenal with 12, a maximum haul, and indeed the same goal difference. So the perfect start for those two. PSG just tucked in despite defeat tonight at home. Inter, Real, Liverpool, Spurs and Dortmund make up the top 8 as things stand. Of course, there are a number of those teams that have yet to play this week, with another set of fixtures tomorrow. So that's, at the moment, the top 8. Chance for the likes of Man City and Newcastle, of course, among others, Barca and Chelsea to change that. They are all in action tomorrow. PSV with that point in 17th as things stand. Monaco up to 18th and into those playoff places with their win at Bodo Glimt tonight. Benfica and Ajax, as we mentioned earlier on tonight, still with nothing to show from their endeavours. They are also in action tomorrow night. Right, let's go back to Paris and hear from Raf Honigstein, who's watched that pretty dramatic game up close. Jules was as close as he could get back here, and his team couldn't quite blow the Bavarians down, Raf. A pretty good rearguard action, and Vincent Kompany's jumping on the pitch at the end, I suppose, tells the story.
Yeah, they were really celebrating this win. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not that important if they win this game or draw the game, but it boosts the momentum. It gives Bayern so much confidence to come here and in the first half play really, really well. In the second half, defend really, really well. Once with the ball, once without. PSG just a little bit off it, maybe not quite at the same level. Also, of course, we need to mention that Achraf Hakimi, we hope that he's not going to be too badly injured, because he really was missed in that second half, that dynamic outlet that he is. But for Bayern, it's the kind of result that will really strengthen the talk of them being real contenders this year. They didn't go into this necessarily thinking that way. Don't know if you remember, Uli Hoeneß, the honorary president, said, we're going to be the Hoffenheim of the Champions League. We're going to be an underdog. I'm not sure he believed it himself. Certainly after this performance, nobody in Germany will.
And I think if I'm right, their next fixture in this competition, with obviously a very handsome maximum point haul, is Arsenal, isn't it, at the Emirates? Another team that have won all of their opening fixtures in the competition. So that, again, might be a guide, if nothing more than that, Raf, to where these big guns are at.
100%. Another team that Jules supports, so it's like the Honigstein-Laurence derby here of the second round. This game, of course, gives Bayern a bit more breathing space. They don't have to go to Arsenal and necessarily get a result, because 4 from 4 and an easier fixture list after the Arsenal game means they will probably finish top 8 this year, unlike last. But of course, they want to keep this going. They want to add to this kind of statement that they have made, coming here and winning, albeit with a bit of luck at the end. If they can do it against the best team in the Premier League, and certainly one of the best teams in Europe this season, then again, it's just going to help them build up confidence and build up momentum.
Yeah, the best thing you could say, actually, about how good they're playing at the moment is that when fit, and obviously we hope that soon, Jamal Musiala might struggle to get it back in the team.
It's not going to be that easy. I mean, of course, there's always going to be a space for him. And, Serge Gnabry has done really, really well filling that role. Nico Jackson sometimes plays a little bit higher up to allow Kane to play that role, and they've done it really, really well. But I think you want Musiala in this team. Bayern can get even better, especially in the left back. I think Davis, maybe in the grand scheme of things, is more important for this Bayern team than Musiala, because to have that pace on the flanks, where Bayern are a little bit vulnerable and don't quite have the same world-class players compared to the front 3 or 4, that's going to make a huge difference. Hopefully we'll see him back before, I think maybe the year is out, but in earnest, I think in January he should be back.
Welcome back. Here's a deliberately provocative question, Jules. Is Vincent Kompany on his way to becoming one of the great European coaches?
I think it's still a bit early, but certainly compared to all the skepticism that was there when he got the job, and as we said with Rafa earlier, he was not the first choice, or second or third or fourth, probably fifth. I mean, he convinced all the doubters, and he proved everybody wrong, really, that how he could take that job and do wonderfully well. Last season was already good. They had a few things to sort out, but they're even better this year. With good recruitment, I think Luis Diaz is an outstanding acquisition in the summer. And against PSG, basically, their press worked again very well. They waited for the mistakes that PSG gifted them, and then they made them count massively.
Yeah, Luis Diaz pouncing on that nice move, but the defending is questionable. And then it kind of gets worse, Joe. Marquinhos, of all players.
Marquinhos, sloppy. He pounces on it. Diaz is a great finish. he's a killer, isn't he? He's you're going to see from the other side of it as well.
Yeah,
in a moment of tackle. I think it's nasty. It's aggressive. I don't think he's meant to hurt Hakimi, but and it's a well-deserved red, and that they held on superbly well to get the result.
João Neves, got one back.
Brilliant footballer. He just hits it into the ground, keeps his body in a good position, and they just ran out of time, Julian, didn't they? They ran out of time.
But we also saw that other side of Bayern tonight, Farah, where they've had to kind of sit in and soak up a lot of pressure, particularly with 10 men.
Yeah, and they did that really well. I felt, the discipline that they showed inside, the 4-4-1 that they put in there and really reduced PSG to creating anything real clear cut. They struggled a little bit, PSG, to break that down, that block. They showed great resilience and togetherness within that to be able to see them out for 45 minutes of a game. And we're talking about a couple of injuries at PSG, but a real top PSG team. So they look good tonight, Bayern.
16 wins in a row.
It's incredible. We said it during the show. Nobody has ever done that in the history of the game, not just in Champions League era or nobody ever. 16, the record was 13, Milan's Capello. 16 is something else. And yes, they would have tough games like Arsenal on the back of the international, but like we said earlier as well, when Owen was with us, they've played all the big guns in the Bundesliga already. So even the games domestically are going to get easier in a way coming up. So I don't know how many they can win, but they look so strong right now.
What about PSG? Injuries again. Ousmane Dembélé came back and went off tonight. Is that summer exertion in the USA maybe part of the story?
Yeah, I think so. There's a bit of that. Yeah, the Club World Cup, I think, took a lot of energy and messed up the summer in terms of holidays and recovery and then being able to start again. I'm not sure why you play Dembélé tonight when you know he's not fully fit, not 100%. I know it's a big game, but like we said, like Joe said, during the whether you lose or win tonight, you're still going to make it the top 8 probably if you're PSG or Bayern. So I don't think it was worth taking the risk with Dembélé. Then you lost Hakimi, and we don't know yet for how long. He said the headlines in France right now is this is a bad night for PSG, the defeat and the injuries on top.